Today you'll be learning ordinary rational numbers on a number line. Standards are 6 and S6. Try. Use your notebook. Try these problems here. List all the sets of numbers to which each number belongs. So we have rational numbers, integers, and whole numbers. Here is the list of the numbers. It's 3, -7, 0.457, 0, 8 and 2/3, and -30/5. You have to list this. Pause the video for a few seconds and try it in your notebook. If, for example, is 3 belongs to the whole number, integer, rational number, etc., etc. Okay. Just take a look. Just think about. Now, let me tell you about the first number and maybe you'll be able to figure out the rest of the numbers. Number 3, +3, belongs to a whole number, is an integer, and a rational number. Now figure out -7. It belongs in 2 cases. What about the rational numbers? What do you know about rational numbers? Don't forget the word rational has a ratio on it, so maybe you'll come up with some ideas. And what do you know about 0? What did we say about 0? You might need to go back to your yesterday's notes and check. Okay. And -30/5. What do you know about this? This is a fraction, right? What do you know? Okay, I'll let you think. I'll let you do the work. Let's move to the next slide. Let me tell you about the last one. The last one, -30/5, you know how to divide, is -6. So -6 is an integer and a rational number because it's a fraction division. Fractions are divisions. You know, guys, fractions are divisions and ratios. Okay, try this. We're practicing, mostly we're practicing from yesterday's lesson. Now, plot the points on the number line. Point A, 3, point B, -1.5, point C, 2.25, point D is -3.75. Now, I will do this with you. I'll do this with you. So point 3A, it's here, right? A. And point and -1.5. Let's go to the left of the number line. So should lie between -1 and 2. So it's half in the middle, right? So let's put here point B and point C, 2.25, +2.25. Now it lies between 2 and 3. So if we assume that this is a whole, one whole, right? So 150, half of it is here, another quarter is here, and another quarter is here, right? So it's 2.25. 2.25 is between 2 and 250. So this is going to be the point C. Point C. And point D, -3.75. Let's move to the left of the number line. So it's going to be somewhere between -3 and -4. But again, let's use same strategy. Put this in the middle. So cut this in half and another half here and another half here. So we have 4 quarters here. 75, it's close to the -4, so it's -3.75, which is point D. Beautiful. Now, what about 0? Point E, it's here. Point E is here. All right, I'm going to do some of the problems, guys, so you can copy these and put it in your notes. And I'm going to let you do some of them. Okay, now try this number line. Try it in your own, this number line. As you see here, you have A, B, C, and D. Now, points should be marked on the horizontal line. So you have to mark here, copy this table, small table, and put it on your notebook. In your notebook, you're going to tell us what is a point A. What is a point A? Point A. Now, what do you think? If here was 6, negative 6, negative 6, right? Where point A lays between. Okay, I'm just giving you hints. A negative, okay, here, point B, and point C. Same thing for the point C. What do you see here? It's between 1 and 2, right? And what about point D? See here? Between these 2 points. So it's not going to be hard for you guys to complete this exercise. Try it in your own. Pause the video and try it in your own. Okay, numbers on a number line. Copy this one too. It's from negative 1 to 1 and 0. So point A, it says negative 0.8. Let's count the separation, the numbers. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we see the distance between negative 1 and 0, we have 5 separations, 5 lines, and we are trying to figure out how many points are in between this. So to count the number of spaces and divide, so number of spaces is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So 1 divided by 5 spaces is equal to 0.2. Now 0.2, if we start from 0, is 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8. So the one negative, so we have negative 0.2, 0.2, negative 0.4, negative 0.6, and the last one is negative 0.8. So this is the point A. So you see how we do this, right? We count the spaces and we divide 1 divided by 5, which is, and you can use calculator, you're allowed to use calculator, guys, it's okay, it's not a problem. 0.2. Now what about point B? Point B is same thing, right? Let me change the color. Let's start from 0. So from 0, 1 space, 2 spaces, right? So it's going to be 0.2 because we have the same intervals. 0.2. You have to use there are same intervals as you see, and 0.4. Right? Since it's 0.2, 0.4. It goes like this. Oh, sorry guys, sorry, just having a hard time from the computer. Used to the smart board, but here. Okay, good. Count the spaces, so you count the spaces and you figure out that is 0.4. Count the number of space and divide. Now, okay, here is the answer. Okay, here was the original answer to this. Beautiful. So you know how you should do it when you have the next ones. So we count them, we count the spaces, and we divide by the spaces, and you get the intervals. How much are the intervals to figure out the point? Now, numbers or number line, copy this one too. We use same strategy. For the first one, we have negative 2.5. As you see, this is between negative 2 and 3. And here is between positive 1 and 2. So it's 1.5. B is 1.5. Count the number of spaces and divide 2 by 4 spaces is equal to 0.5. Okay, same strategy as we used in the previous slide. Copy this. Practice this. Practice and try. Okay, we have point A, point B, and point C. Name points A and B and C as decimals. Okay, so you have to name them as decimals. And we have to, number 2, to figure out which point has the greatest value, which point has the least value. Okay, pause the video for a moment and think about and put it in your notebook and try yourself, try your ability if you are able to figure out as decimals. Okay, but to help you guys, I'm going to give you the answers. A is equal to negative 1.75. As you see here, this point lays in between negative 1 and negative 2. Now, if we are trying to put these quarters, as we said before, so here is 1, negative 1.25, negative 1.50, and negative 1.75. So this is negative 1.75, negative 1.75. A. Okay, this is too hard to write. Negative, okay. Negative 1.75. Okay. Point A. And point B, I'm just going to talk about. Point B is going to be negative 0.50, negative 0.50. As you see here, it's between 0 and negative 1. So as we go to the left from 0, we start with negative integers. So it's here, it's going to be negative to negative, negative 0.25, and we count up negative 0.25, and this is going to be negative 0.50, and this is going to be negative 0.075, negative 0.75, and we are approaching negative 1. Okay, which point has the greatest value? Now take a look, what is farthest to the right? As you see here, after you realize which point is this, we say that which point is the greatest value? Sorry guys, the greatest value, which is farthest to the right? Farthest to the right, it says, is C, right? So what is C farthest to the right? 0, and you count. Which point has the least value? Which point is farthest to the left now? That is the least value, farthest to the left. You just have to plug the numbers. Okay, keep going, guys. Comparing rational numbers. For comparing the rational numbers, we have to convert all the numbers at the same form. So if we have 0.2, 3/4, 0.8, 1/2, 1/4, and 0.4, we're going to decide to convert them to decimals. Converting them to decimals, and we do have here from 0 to 1. From 0 to 1. Now, how do we do this? Let's take some time. Let's count this. Okay, we have here, let's turn this first to the decimals, which is, okay, count this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, let's see point 0.2. Where the 0.2 lies on? 0.2 lies here. 0.2. 0.2. Right? And let's see 0.4. 0.4 lies in here. 0.4. So 1.5. So 1.5. 1/2 is just 0.5. 0.5. So these are all decimals, right? Decimals, 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 and decimals. Okay, perfect. Now, what do we have here? 0.5. 0.5 is here. 0.5 is here. 0.5. Okay, as you see, we're turning them to decimals. Let's see 3/4. Where was 3/4? 3/4 here. 3/4 is somewhere here. 3/4. 2, 7. 3/4. Okay. Okay, 3/4, 0.75. 0.75. So this is 0.75. 0.75. Good. And we have 1/4, 0.25, 0.25. 0.25. Between 0.25 point here. 0.25. As you see, we're turning them to decimals. 0.25. Okay. Now, we practice these numbers from least to the greatest. This was this. Practice this list from, let me see, got up. Practice order these numbers from least to greatest. Okay, how we do that? Again, we convert them to decimals. By converting them to decimals, we have them in the same order. We put them we convert them in the same order. So we order them numbers from least to greatest. So we already know that integers, the least integers are farthest to the left. Farthest to the left. After you convert them, and this is going to be negative 2. Okay, negative 2.6. Okay, negative 2.6, yes, negative 2.6, okay, negative 2, let me put this down. Negative 2.6. Okay, now you are able to list, okay, to list them from, to order these numbers from least to the greatest. Let me help you guys, or you can pause the video and do them in your notebook. After you come back, you can find the answers. So we start with negative 2.6, which is the farthest to the left, okay, and after that it comes negative 2.56. I hope you guys are getting this. And next one is negative 2.5. As you see, we are approaching as closest to 0, bigger are the numbers. And negative 2, which is the greatest in this number line. Great. Okay, let's move to the next slide. As closing, in your notebook, explain the difference between rational numbers and integers. If you do not recall information, go back to your notes from yesterday's lesson and see and explain the difference between rational numbers and integers. Think about, what do you know about the integers and what do you know about rational numbers?